So, YouTube keeps deleting my comments. I don't know why. Some of the comments that I write aren't even that bad. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, over the years, I mean, I've been on YouTube since like 2008, around there. I think that was the first year it even came out. I was on there. But it was ruthless. It was brutal back in the day. People were arguing, cussing, gang stuff, talking about meet me here, I'll beat you up, what's your address, threatening people. I mean, YouTube used to be crazy. So I guess maybe in response to that, I mean, I know the last like 5 years, the PC mob has come out on Facebook and social media, Twitter, etc. Instagram, and they've been putting this blockage up on people who say inflammatory hate speech type things. But I don't. I mean, like I said, YouTube used to be crazy. YouTube back in the day used to be nuts. I don't know if any of you guys were on there before like 2012, 2010. It was crazy. Like it was just argument to the point where eventually I had to just turn it off. Like I had to turn off my notifications, and I had my notifications turned off for like 4 or 5 years because anytime I would make a comment on any video, I'd have guys coming out of the woodwork to curse at me, argue with me, and shit. And there was a few funny times, a few fun times where, like, I had some funny arguments or some funny trolls, and the irony is it used to be actually on the flip side, as opposed to the trolling, it used to be where you could really have good conversations with people on YouTube. You could really learn some shit. There was people on YouTube that were straight dropping knowledge, that guys who were just teaching shit on YouTube. And I don't see that as much anymore. Now I just see dumbass, mindless, brainless sheep comments on most videos. Unless it's like a woke video or like a red pill video, then you'll get a lot of information. But you could definitely see people, a lot of people, like famous people like Joe Rogan or people, they actually diss YouTube, and they say like, oh, YouTube is just for losers, and if you're commenting on YouTube, you're just a loser. Woo woo. But yet at the same time, these same people will go down and read the comments, even though they say they have no time for it. You'll hear them at other times saying, oh yeah, I went and read the comments, and people are roasting you and blah blah blah. Anyway, but I don't know why they're erasing my comments. Now, I don't know if I'm on some kind of list. I know I have a content strike on my channel. Maybe that has something to do with it. I really don't know. But they've been doing it for a while. So I noticed it because I'll make a comment. It'll keep that comment, and then I'll reply something, and then somebody else will comment. I'll go back and I'll read to see if they replied to my reply, and my comment was erased. Right, my whole comment was just erased. So I'm just like, why are they doing that? And they've been doing it for months and months, like at least 6 months. I've noticed it. So I don't know why they're doing it, man. I don't know if it's because I'm on a watch list. I don't know if it's because, I mean, I definitely have got a couple flags, on my videos in the last few years, because they try to say it's hate speech, and like, oh, because I talk bad about feminism, or I said I said something bad about women or something, and it's just like I'll say this: YouTube isn't as bad as Facebook. Facebook is bad. Like Facebook, you can't say anything that's even inflammatory. Facebook used to be crazy too, kind of like 5 years ago. It used to be a lot crazier, but they've ramped up, the anti-hate speech, PC shit. So they're really cutting down on free speech at this point. If you say anything inflammatory, anything that's if you take a strong stance or a strong side against something, particularly if it's like something controversial, such as politics, or you know, like gender, stuff that's to do with gender, or like homophobia or whatever, like they will shut you down quickly. So they're not even they don't give warnings. They just erase my comments on YouTube, and I've noticed it, like I said, for about the last 6 months. So It's pretty crazy. I'd be interested to see what your guys' experience with that is, if you even notice it. It's just something that I noticed, and I've known for a long time that Facebook is messed up, but I guess YouTube has been getting worse. And I don't know, maybe in a sense, it's probably why YouTube is a lot better the last 5 years. Because like I noticed that people don't really argue that much on YouTube anymore. I barely see it anymore. But trust me, 10 years ago, it was popping off. 10 years ago, it was harsh. Like it was just fight central. People were arguing, fighting. That's all it was. Even 5 years ago. That's all it was. And then I just turned off my notifications because it was so negative. It got to a point where I couldn't even comment. I couldn't even have a different um I couldn't even have a different opinion than what the majority of people in the thread were saying. If I had a different opinion, I would just get roasted and attacked, and it's just like it really. But at a certain point, I was just like, why am I even commenting? It's so negative. There's no point. But I guess they started cleaning that up, and so now it's like nobody's arguing anymore. I barely ever even get people disagreeing with me anymore. It's kind of crazy. Well, I get people disagreeing with me, but it's not like it used to be. If people disagree with you in the past, they would just straight up abuse you. They would just say, you're an idiot, you're this, you're that, and they would just do their best to just throw hate on you, man. And that wasn't fun. But at the same time, like, people should be able to disagree and then discuss why they disagree. And so now it's like, I don't even know, man. Like, half the shit I say isn't even that bad. Like, half the shit, it's like, but I noticed that it's like on inflammatory, subjects. Like, if we're talking about politics, or we're talking about like my most recent comment that got erased was, I think it was like on Takashi 6ix9ine. We were talking about how, like, he snitched on the people who were gonna, like, do him harm, and I was like, yeah, that's not that bad, because they were gonna do him harm, and then people were disagreeing with me, and it's like, then all of a sudden my comments were erased. It's just like, what? Why? I don't like. Anyway, so I don't know what your guys' experience with that is, but yeah, YouTube has been erasing my comments, and it's pretty shitty.